Saint Suppapong emerged as one of the most recognizable faces in Thailand's BL scene after starring in Love by Chance. That role turned him into a fan favorite almost overnight. Yet as the years unfolded, public opinion around him became increasingly divided. Every new rumor, conflict, and career decision seemed to generate more questions than answers, until some viewers began framing him as a protagonist who somehow kept drifting into the role of antagonist. To understand how that happened, the story has to be approached chronologically. During the first season of Love by Chance, Saint was still adjusting to the pressure of carrying a lead role. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, tensions reportedly developed involving Perth Tanapon's management. Posts appeared on social media implying that Saint's own team had pushed him into unsavory arrangements with older benefactors to advance his career. The accusations were indirect, but they spread quickly, stoking speculation within fan communities and unsettling the industry ecosystem around the show. Not long after, there were claims that Perth's manager attempted to manage how and when Saint and Perth interacted publicly and privately. Promoters and event organizers said they were told Saint was unavailable for certain appearances, only to learn later that he had never been contacted at all. Feelings hardened when Season 2 of the series was announced without him. In interviews, Saint explained that no one from production had approached him about returning. Writers ultimately removed his character and altered the storyline to justify his absence. Months later, another moment added fuel to the controversy. Saint mentioned in an interview that Perth had stopped communicating with him. Fans interpreted that as abandonment and began criticizing Perth directly, insisting he should have defended Saint against his manager. Perth was 18 at the time and eventually expressed that he no longer wanted to continue with BL because of the intense pressure from his own ship fandom. Although he did return to the genre much later, it wasn't until the backlash around that era had largely faded. After his chapter with Perth, Saint's next major pairing was with Z Prook in YRU. Z had admired Saint's work even before they became colleagues, which created a promising on-screen partnership. Early promotions included joint live streams, event appearances, and playful content that suggested a strong future as a BL duo. However, problems surfaced beneath the surface. A segment of Perth Saint fans rejected Z and targeted him online, creating strain even before the series had finished airing. Meanwhile, Z's own team began to perceive Saint's humor in interviews as unflattering. Comments about Z falling asleep during shoots, ignoring messages, arriving late, or skipping grooming were seen by some as implying unprofessionalism. The criticism that followed pushed Z into a defensive position and led to escalating harassment from certain Saint fans. Complications increased when an old clip from 2017 resurfaced showing Z making inappropriate remarks on a hidden camera program. The controversy led him to further withdraw from public interactions with Saint just as the fandom conflict was peaking. Matters deteriorated further when Z's manager delayed payments to the YRU cast and later criticized Saint during a livestream. The combined weight of mismanagement, fan hostility, and mutual distancing ultimately brought the ship to an end. After those turbulent partnerships, Saint founded Idol Factory with his longtime manager Ten. The goal was to gain more control over his career and create a safer and more supportive environment for young talent. Their early work included Secret Crush on You, but the real breakthrough was Gap, Thailand's first major commercial GL series. Saint reportedly invested heavily, even borrowing money from his mother to make it happen. The series succeeded, boosting the profiles of Freen and Becky and contributing to a surge of interest in GL projects. Revenue from that success helped finance subsequent titles such as Dream, The Loyalty Pin, The Sign, and Somewhere Somehow. For a time, Idol Factory appeared to be stable. Then in late October 2025, Freen and Becky announced they would not renew their contracts. As the company's most profitable pairing, their departure immediately sparked concern about Idol Factory's financial state. Rumors circulated about delayed payments and strained working conditions, although neither actress commented directly. Both established independent management after leaving, further confirming their break from the company's structure. 1 month later, on November 13, Saint himself resigned from Idol Factory. He relinquished his shares, stepped down as CEO, and withdrew from acting. During a public event days later, he explained that he had trusted the wrong people for nearly a decade and had lost his personal savings as a result. He said he would take any available work to rebuild financially and claimed the company no longer upheld the values on which it was founded. Attention then shifted to Chen, his longtime business partner. The next day, Chen responded publicly, expressing frustration that Saint had left just as the company was facing losses. Chen said he had remained at the company to support actors, staff, and unpaid suppliers, and stated he was willing to enter legal proceedings if necessary. The situation escalated dramatically when Becky held a press conference on November 30th, her birthday. She stated that she had not been paid throughout 2025 and that despite repeated inquiries, payments had been continually delayed. She received a partial transfer in October, but said Idol Factory still owed her over 20 million baht. She confirmed that the issue had become a legal case and that filming for 4 Elements was halted after roughly 17 shooting days due to unresolved contractual problems. Shortly after, Framed released her own statement confirming that she too had outstanding payments, around 10 million baht, and had taken legal steps to recover them. Around the same time, other reports emerged claiming that music producers, makeup artists, translators, assistant directors, and acting coaches had either gone unpaid or continued working without compensation. Despite the company producing 2 BL series, hosting fan events, and handling brand campaigns, many asked where the revenue had gone. Critics pointed to expensive investments including new offices, luxury rentals for productions, and a private house associated with Saint. At the same moment, older conversations about Saint's behavior resurfaced. Some fans of Z compiled behind-the-scenes clips from YRU portraying Saint as physically rough or dismissive toward Z. Those viewers argued that the dynamic had been unhealthy and that Saint should have more strongly discouraged fan harassment when it spilled into Z's personal life. Supporters countered that Saint was not responsible for fan behavior and that the clips were being taken out of context, but by then the narrative had already shifted against him. As of now, the situation remains unresolved. Legal cases are ongoing, public communication has largely stopped, and considerable uncertainty surrounds Idol Factory's financial future. Saint has not issued further clarification, leaving space for speculation to fill the void. In the absence of clear information, online communities are left to debate motive, responsibility, and credibility, a reminder of how dramatically public figures can shift from rising icons to contested figures in the span of only a few years. The story is still developing, and as more legal information becomes public, the interpretation of events may change.